We also have Thakgi that also came out to point out that we have Rickelle Jones who actually flipped at him whilst he was attending a show of A-Reece and cheering up for A-Reece, which then people have called out to be an unprofessional act for someone who is considered to be A-Reece management. I believe it is insane that right now we're sitting here and we actually are looking at the stats of Water by Tyla. And right now, as I'm looking at them, I'm currently on Spotify. I'm seeing that the plays are past 114 million. And you had me right. Yes, 114 million plays by Tyler on Spotify, which is, I guess, one of the biggest, is the greatest. It's beautiful, and I want to say congratulations. I know for every podcast, for every episode that I've put out there, I've always said congratulations to Tyler. I'm in awe, and I'm really proud of all the achievements that she has amassed. She's around a third of what Master KG achieved with Jerusalem, and I'm guessing it's going to surpass Jerusalem, but we'll see as time goes. I'm also on the internet right now and I'm looking at the charts right now. As I'm checking right now, that is on 12:54 a.m. On the 31st of October, we have Tyler sitting on number 21 for Water, and this is the Billboard Global, that is including everyone. So yeah, if you know, right now the people that are ahead of Tyler is Bad Bunny, Taylor, Doja Cat. We have Tate McRae, Bad Bunny again, Jungkook. We have Drake. We have Inigo. We have Bad Bunny has been having a lot of their tracks in the Billboard Global, but we also have Kenya Grace. We have Karol G. We have Jenny, and then we also have that is all. Those are the people that are ahead of Tyler right now as we speaking. She is on number 21, and then on just the Billboard Hot 100, that is just the normal Billboard 100 Hot 100, she is sitting at around she's in the top 50, but she's sitting around, as I make sure that I say the right thing. I think when I checked LA, she was sitting or doing around 41. So let me check right now for Water by Tyler. It's quite a big and a huge achievement to actually see her ranking that high, and not just like now being on like specific categories, but to just be competing with everyone. That is beautiful. The exact place that she's sitting at right now is number 46 on the Billboard Hot 100. So definitely congratulations. The reason why I had to go to the Billboard is that I was seeing I was seeing some posts on Twitter whereby people were saying that she has reached a new peak of number 9. I guess I was a bit late. I was a bit late when it comes to the realization because that was around 9:39 p.m. and yeah, they had said that she has made the first entry to top 10, and they were saying that that is the first entry by a South African artist there into the Billboard Global 200 chart. But I just have to, you have to actually like be happy that she's on the Hot 100. That is massive. Like if you look in the US, there's a lot of songs that can be on the Hot 100, and to have her song Water competing with American natives, as well as competing around, the giants. We have people from the UK, you have people from all around the world. To have a ranking that high, that is beautiful, and to also have her not having any Afrobeats artist ahead of her, that is super huge, and it's super huge for South Africa as well, because for the longest time it has been common that people have been saying that it's Nigeria that's leading on the music charts, the Nigerian artists and all of those things. To see, a South African sitting clear and sitting comfortably up there, that is beautiful. But I also saw a really disgusting tweet by Steli but it's with an XYG. So it's STELXYG. She had posted Tyla and A-Reece, and she had posted saying, making a comparison, she said, Tyla and A-Reece, who has the baddest sex appeal? Like for Tyla, reports for Ira. And I'm wondering, how did we reach this point whereby we are comparing women not according to their talent and what they bring, musically, and we're just focusing on how much sex appeal they have. That is one thing that is very much disgusting for me when I look at it. And and it's even sad when it's coming from a female, because that's a female that posted that thing. Of course, you don't know these days because you have banner accounts, you have people pretending to be genders that they're not, and it's really sad. But anyways, welcome to everyone that is new to the podcast. And I just realized that I didn't welcome all of you guys, so welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're a returning listener. And I love you so much, everyone, each and every one of you, and I appreciate the support that has been consistent. This podcast comes a bit late, but it is on time because it's here right now, and I'm glad that you're listening to it. And so we'll continue with the story, of Tyler and A-Reece. And I feel like it's also unfair to compare the two because they are close friends, and I've seen them on collabs, as well as they're just really up close, and it's crazy. But you also look at the fact that TikTok has a great power, because the song on TikTok has been making moves and waves, and this is beautiful. This is really huge and massive for Tyler. So definitely congratulations to Tyler. We also had Dr. Matthew actually getting arrested, and as you're looking at the video, for me it becomes like it's becoming more sad than it becomes more of a meme, because you see this guy who tried to sneak into a hospital, and and they tried to pretend that they are working and that they work there. So now this person is gonna get nailed for trespassing, and it's really sad, because you're thinking, how far is one willing to go to actually try and prove a point to people that really don't care about him. There has been a lot that has been said, about Dr. Matthew, and most of the stuff that has been said is that they are suspecting that there's a there's an illness there. They also came out to expose that he had not completed metric, and that he had only done, I think, up until grade 7, I'm not sure. And then he went to a special needs school afterwards. So I'll just read to you a News 24 article on Matthew Lani. This was released on the 30th of October. And as of now that I'm making this podcast, which is on the 31st of October, this is only a day old. So, alleged bogus TikTok Dr. Matthew Lani arrested at Johannesburg Hospital. And to be specific, that was Helen Joseph Hospital in Johannesburg. So, health authorities apprehended TikToker Matthew Lani, who allegedly impersonated a medical doctor to fuel his social media following when he tried to sneak into a Johannesburg hospital on Saturday night. The Gauteng Department of Health said security personnel at Helen Joseph Hospital stopped Lani on Sunday night after he accessed the premises through the main entrance. Lani was caught just before 8 p.m. disguised in a hoodie and wearing a surgical mask with a stethoscope around his neck. He had previously entered the same facility to curate misleading content under the pretense that he was a qualified doctor. Department spokesperson Motalatale Modiba said, "That is the first time I read such a name, so I really am sorry if I butchered it for the person, because I know it's never nice." According to Modiba, Lani asked to use the bathroom after he was apprehended, then tried to escape by jumping through the bathroom window. When the security realized that he was making a run for it, they called for reinforcements and he was subsequently apprehended again. The police were immediately called. Lani has since been handed over to the police for an official arrest, he added. News 24 previously reported that a case of identity fraud had been opened against Lani, as well as a case of impersonating a medical doctor. And now he has a case of he has a case of the identity fraud. He also has an impersonating a doctor, and he also now has trespassing, and of course he will also pay for defamatory that has been happening for the Helen Joseph hospital, because now you're dragging their reputation, and this is something that down in the mud. This is something that they also mentioned as they were talking to him and telling him to make a statement. The lady was saying, you are literally making people question us as a hospital with what you are doing, as he was apologizing, because he was now apologizing for everything that he did, and we're like, okay, you must just write down that on a statement, because we can't really pardon you right now. You've done a lot of damage, you've caused a lot of damage for our reputation as a hospital, and right now I feel like the cases just keep on getting more and more and more. Anyways, I intend to vigorously defend myself, TikTok, Dr. Matthews, to fight tooth and nail against criminal charges. Lani made headlines for presenting himself as an employee of the Gauteng Health Department at the hospital in Johannesburg and claiming to be a medicine graduate from the University of the Witwatersrand. He also claimed to be registered with the Health Professions Council of South Africa and that he obtained a high school diploma with Cambridge International College. The institutions have denied any link with him. Lani has maintained he's innocent. Hawks spokesperson Colonel Katlego Mogale confirmed the arrest of a 27-year-old man on charges of impersonating a medical doctor. It is alleged that the suspect was seen on Friday, 27 October 2023 at the hospital, reportedly making videos, and hospital staff were informed to be on the lookout for him. On Sunday, the suspect was seen in the hospital premises and apprehended by the security guards, then handed over to the Brixton police, Mogale said. Another case of impersonating was opened at Tembisa, where the same suspect is alleged to have utilized the credentials of a practicing doctor to fool other hospital staff. Lani is expected to appear in Johannesburg Magistrates Court on Tuesday. If you don't know the person, the name of that person was Sanele Zingela, Dr. Sanele Zingela, who was impersonated from Tembisa. So this is going to be a really tricky case now, because they have charges, and these are actual charges. And if you have someone breaking in and using your utilities, because this is something that we're talking about, like you are going into places that are really deadly, like theaters. These are sensitive areas. You don't just barge in and you walk in and you do as you please to try and please your supporters on TikTok. There was a time when I went on TikTok and I looked, I was just, I don't even know, because I've never like followed the character Dr. Mejulani, and I came across his live. I was like, wait, wasn't he banned from TikTok? And I just realized that it was actually redeemed, and that it was an actual live. And for me it's sad, because I feel like at that point he had an escape, he should have taken it, but right now he pushed further, and now he's at a point whereby it's a point of no return. It's a crazy place to be in, and I feel bad for him. I hope he gets the assistance that he seeks, because all the time there is that silent cry of help. As we go on to the sad passing of Matthew Perry, this is a story from it's not coming from South Africa, but I know for a fact that it is one that is affecting everyone regardless of where you are from. For those that don't know who Matthew Perry is, Matthew Perry goes by the famous popular name of Chandler Bing. If you don't know who Chandler Bing is, Chandler Bing was the character on Friends. if you've watched a show that says "I'll be there for you when the winter starts to cold, I'll be there for you." That show, the one of the funniest shows to have ever graced us on this planet. And Chandler Bing was basically the guy on that comedy sitcom who was dating Monica, and he was best friends with Joey as well. And he started off as a roommate of Joey, and then he moved in with Monica. So basically, Matthew Perry has passed away at the age of 54. And I would like to read from you what went down from the New York Times. Matthew Perry, star of Friends, is dead at 54. He was known for playing the sarcastic but lovable Chandler Bing and for his struggles with drugs and alcohol, which he chronicled in a memoir. That is a book that he wrote about his struggles. He says he was trying to help those that are dealing with the struggles of having to quit drugs and alcohol, relapsing, and trying it again over and over again. Just like letting them know that you're not alone, everyone else, there are some people out there that are going through the same situations, but if you made it through the line, then you can also make it through the line. Matthew Perry, who gained sitcom superstardom as Chandler Bing on the show Friends, becoming a model of the ability to tease your pals as an expression of love, has died. He was 54. The death was confirmed by Captain Scott Williams of the Los Angeles Police Department Robbery Homicide Division. He said the cause was not likely to be determined for some time, but there was no indication of foul play. Several news outlets reported without a named source that Mr. Perry was found unresponsive in a hot tub at his home in Los Angeles. He had publicly struggled with drinking and drug use for decades, leading to hospitalizations for a range of ailments. By his own account, he had spent more than half his life in treatment and rehab facilities. Friends ran for 10 seasons from 1994 to 2004. It chronicled it chronicled it chronicled it chronicled the never too dramatic dramas and jokes and exploits of a group of six young friends living in New York City. Chandler was the yuppie of the group, with a well-paying white-collar job his friends did not entirely understand. He wore a sweater vest but also moodily smoked cigarettes. Other friends' characters generated humor through their goofiness or happiness. Chandler cracked jokes. He was often inspired by the airheadness of his roommate and best friend Joey Tribbiani, Matt LeBlanc, a struggling actor, and by the blunders of another buddy, Ross Geller, David Schwimmer, a paleontologist more competent in science than every day in life. During one episode, for example, Ross joined the group looking bizarrely tan and said he had gone to a tanning place that one of them had suggested. Was that place the sun? Chandler asked. That speech, patterned the sarcastic rhetorical questions asked in a tone of mocked disbelief, was typical of Chandler. He was known on the show for wondering things like, could she be more out of my league? Mr. Perry himself brought this bit to the show and it became a familiar way for Americans to talk, proof of the status of Friends as one of the most popular shows in sitcom history. For a while, Chandler was in a secret romance with another core member of the Friends group, Monique Geller, Courtney Cox, a chef. Ultimately, the two achieve happily stable monogamy, marry, and move to the suburbs. In the spirit of the show, distilled into its theme song, I'll Be There For You, Chandler's new home has a Joey room for his old roommate. Their steps towards adulthood helped bring in an end to the group's post-adolescent idyll, and with that, the story of Friends itself. Remembering Matthew Perry, the actor who gained sitcom superstardom as Chandler on the show Friends, died on October 28. He was 54. Celebrities, actors, and entertainment political leaders shared tributes to Tribbiani to Matthew Perry on social media after the news of his death. Friends enjoy. The sitcom continues to dazzle television executives with its lasting popularity. This was further underscored by the emotional outpouring for Perry. In New York, after Perry's death, fans gathered to mourn the actor at their friend's experience, a storefront recreation of the sitcom's famous set. Mr. Perry, like his co-stars, eventually earned 1 million per episode. He was rich, famous, and handsome, but behind the scenes of Friends, his substance abuse was already an issue. In 2022, Memo, Friends, Lovers, and The Big Terrible Thing, Mr. Perry recalled Jennifer Aniston, who starred in the show as Rachel Green, coming to his trailer one day and saying, in a kind of weird but loving way, that it was clear he had been drinking too much. We can smell it. She added, the plural we he wrote about that moment hits me like a sledgehammer. The whole cast confronted him at one point in his dressing room. A jet ski accident in 1997 helped a set in motion. Um, a jet ski accident in 1997 helped set in motion Mr. Perry's addiction to painkillers. A year and a half later, he was taking 55 pills a day. He checked into rehab facility weighing 128 pounds. Of course, Matthew Perry is in rehab became a huge news story, he wrote. In the years to come, his addiction would lead to a medical odyssey. The New York Times wrote in a profile last year, including an exploded colon, a stint on life support, 2 weeks in a coma, 9 months with a colostomy bag, and more than a dozen stomach surgery, among other travels. Lisa Kudrow, who played Phoebe Buffet on Friends, wrote in her foreword to Mr. Perry's memoir that the single question she was asked most about Friends was how Mr. Matthew Perry is doing. Matthew Langford Perry was born on August 1969, in Williamston, Mass. His mother, Susan Langford Perry, worked as a press secretary for the Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. His father, John Bennett Perry, was a character actor. His parents divorced when he was a baby, and Matthew grew up largely with his mother and stepfather Keith Morrison in Ottawa. He was one of Canada's top-ranked junior tennis players. When he was 15, he moved in with his father in Los Angeles, hoping to devote more time to tennis and leave behind unhappiness he felt about his place in his mother's second family. After a couple of years in Los Angeles, Matthew decided that he had figured out what would make him happy. Fame would change everything, and I yearned for it more than any other person on the face of the planet, he wrote in his memoir. I needed it. It was the only thing that would fix me. I was certain of it. In 1998, still a teenager, he made his film debut, starring alongside River Phoenix in A Night in the Life of Jimmy Radon. He appeared on several sitcoms. It was clear that he was an up-and-coming actor, but he remained that way for several years. One day, when he was 24, alone in his small Los Angeles apartment, he got on his knees and prayed to become famous, no matter what else would happen to him in the process. 3 weeks later, he was cast in Friends. Early on, Courtney Cox, whose career to that point had outpaced her fellow cast members, announced to the group that there are no stars here. Mr. Perry recalled in his memo, this is an ensemble show, we're all supposed to be friends. Mr. Perry continued, so we did what she suggested. From that first moment, we were inseparable. We ate every meal together. During his years on Friends, Mr. Perry starred in a number of movies that flopped commercially, like Almost Heroes 1998 with Chris Farley and Three to Tango 1999. He got good reviews for his supporting role as a likable, beleaguered dentist in The Whole 9 Yards 2000, starring Bruce Willis. After Friends, Mr. Perry starred in a few more TV shows like Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip 2006-2007, written by Aaron Sorkin and an adaptation of Neil Simon's play The Odd Couple that ran on CBS from 2015 to 2017. In his memoir, Mr. Perry poignantly describes struggles with the self-esteem commitment through several romantic relationships, including some with prominent actresses like Julia Roberts. He never married or had children. He had several half siblings from his parents' remarriages. Information about his survivors was not immediately available. Since Friends went off the air, its fan base has only grown. The show has even helped people around the world learn English. 2 years ago, Mr. Perry, by his own account, newly sober, appeared in a televised reunion of the Friends cast, in which its stars revisited some of the show's most famous sets, like the Central Park coffee shop, to reminisce about old episodes that came after years in which Mr. Perry resisted talking about Friends. He wrote in his memoir that he admired Kurt Cobain's refusal to play Smells Like Teen Spirit, a hit of Mr. Cobain's group Nirvana, and led Zeppelin aversion to their anthem Stairway to Heaven. He did again a new attitude toward publicly recalling his past thanks to writing, he told the Times last year. In a single interview, he spoke again and again about the idea that his confessional stories might help fellow addicts. Whenever I bumped into something that I didn't really want to share, he said, I would think of the people that I would be helping. I would be, and it would keep me going. And it goes without saying that Matthew Perry is someone that really, has touched a lot of hearts. And also through his post on Instagram, I realized that a lot of people had identified the fact that he was going through the most, with some saying, can anyone check on Matthew? Can anyone check on this guy? Please let this not be signs, because in the last days he was posting Batman stories. And sorry, I'm getting a little bit dragged down right now. I'm feeling a bit low. And his last posts were all about him saying that don't worry, tonight, Madman, he called himself Madman, has got you. Madman is watching over you. And it was sad because even how he died, they said he died in a jacuzzi, um, hot water. And his last Instagram post, if you go and check, it was basically him enjoying the night in his jacuzzi. Those that have spoken more, they've said that the assistant had only been away for 2 hours, and when the assistant came back, he was gone. Definitely, my sincere condolences to everyone that loved Chandler Bing. Whoever will forever miss Chandler. I'm gonna forever miss his smile, and yeah, it is a sight that I never thought would ever see. And I also get the fact that he didn't want to speak about Friends because during half of his sets, I've read an article before where they were saying that Matthew, I think, is the only kind of actor that had been allowed to freestyle his acting, and most of the times he was, like they said, he was on substance, and I would understand why he never wanted to speak about it, because it was a dark moment of his life. And I really hope that everyone, the family, doesn't blame themselves, because I saw a lot of people that say that their family failed Matthew. But this is one of the hardest times for you to be saying those things, because he just passed away and the wounds are still fresh and they cut so deep for everyone that is out there. So it's sad. It's sad. Definitely condolences to Matthew Perry's family. And we have Kabza De Small, who has also released an album. He has released it with Mthunzi, and there has been a lot of reviews on the album, and I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet. But a lot of people are saying, including MacG, he's saying that it feels like it's one long track that doesn't change the art of it. So I'm not really yet sure. I'm going to check it out, but definitely congratulations to Kabza De Small for this long run as a producer. It's not easy to remain consistent, and I know a lot of people are gonna criticize it because he makes a kind of music that is more laid back, more relaxed, and of course, a lot of people like club music. They want to dance, and so I without a doubt know that they are going to really criticize an album that is more laid back and more chilled. So I hope that Kabza doesn't take that into heart, and he understands and he fully is aware of how great and amazing of a producer he is. So definitely loved the fact that there's still music that is coming out. And I guess right now we're also waiting for Kelvin Momo to finally release and drop his own album. So that is that is amazing. It has also been revealed that Thakgi has been having a lot of people trying to hop onto the three step movement. So basically, three step is more of like house that goes do like three times. If you haven't heard of that genre, go ahead and listen to Mother's latest album. You will fully be introduced to that sound. It sounds the same, but it is a new genre that a lot of people are falling in love with. And as they are falling in love with it, we're also waiting for Kelvin Momo to drop to try and save amapiano, because I feel like at this point he is one of the people that is responsible for that legacy of amapiano to retain it as well. Congratulations to the Boke for winning the World Cup. It was never in doubt. It was never in doubt. Springboks have defended it successfully, making Siya Kolisi the first captain to also defend the Rugby World Cup. So definitely congratulations to South Africa. It's a good achievement, which Siya Kolisi went out and said this is for the every child from the dead world country. I felt that was beautiful to actually say, especially if you look at the fact that we are always undermined as Africans. So definitely a good sound to it. Thank you, Siya Kolisi, for remembering us when everyone was turning a left eye. On the developments of Senzo Meyiwa's case, the latest news is that the witness has come out to say that they have been electrocuted, forced to make the statement. That is Ntanzi. He said that he has been forced to make a confession, which the lawyer of Ntanzi had come out to say that accused the police of doing that. It is an ongoing, they call it a trial in trial. So it's like they're questioning the police that are involved in the arresting, because it becomes a trial in trial because there was this confession, and now people were like, okay, now the story is like it's going to the end. But now the attorneys, they were like, no, wait, we feel like there's something that is not straightforward here, so we'll make sure that we investigate it further and see what's going on. So we will question the police before we proceed any further to see whether indeed the confession was the right one. As it goes, it looks like there has been foul play that has come out to play. So I'll basically just go through the Citizen article about the latest proceedings, just so everyone can catch up. We can also catch up. Senzo Meyiwa trial. This is the Citizen. Cop denies accused was electrocuted during alleged assault. A trial within a trial is taking place in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. A state witness in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial has stressed that he has no knowledge about an accused claim of assault and torture as the defense continued to test his evidence. Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department (EMPD) officer Wendell Jonathan returned to the witness stand in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria on Monday for further cross-examination. A trial within a trial is taking place to determine the admissibility of confession statements, pointing out and warning statements by the five accused men in the main trial. Metro Corp's testimony. Last week, Jonathan vehemently denied being involved or witnessing any assault on accused one, Muzikaukhulelwa Sibiya, and accused two, Bongani Ntanzi, as claimed by the defense. He was one of the police officers who escorted Sibiya and Ntanzi at the time of their alleged confessions. Evidence put before the court has revealed that the accused confessed to their alleged involvement in the 2014 murder of Meyiwa. However, both confessions are being disputed by the defense, who claim that the statements were made under duress because the suspects were tortured by the police. Jonathan testified that he only transported Ntanzi on two occasions. The first time to Morocco police stations in Soweto, where the accused made a confession statement before Colonel Moholo Solomon Rapadu on 19 June 2020. The witness said the second time from Mut police stations in Pretoria to the Boksburg Magistrate Court on 24 June. The court previously heard that Ntanzi made his second confession before Magistrate Vivian Cronje. Jonathan also was part of the escort that transported Sibiya for his pointing out exercise in Vosloorus on 5 June. First meeting under dispute. Advocate Thulani Mngomezulu, counsel for Sibiya Ntanzi, on Monday questioned Jonathan about his involvement in the alleged assault of the accused. Mngomezulu put into Jonathan that Mngomezulu put it to Jonathan that the first time he met Ntanzi was when the accused was beaten up in the company of Sergeant Vusumuzi Mukhane and police officers called Mabena and Buthelezi. You said you first met the accused person too at Morocco police station. It's my instruction that this is not true. His version is the first time you appeared in his presence when you were called to meet Mukhane and Mabena at garage, the defense lawyer said. Jonathan disputed this. According to Mngomezulu, Ntanzi was on his way from Soweto to Alberton when the police stopped next to a filling station where he was beaten up and shocked by their officers. The advocate also alleged that they were also moved from one place to another where the torture continued before Ntanzi was taken to Chris Brangwat Hospital, where he allegedly met Rapado. Rapado has already denied the allegations in court, stating that Ntanzi made his confessions freely and voluntarily. Accused of being electrocuted, Mngomezulu told Jonathan that Ntanzi was first assaulted in the vehicle they were traveling in. Yeah, you then pushed the front seat back towards the accused, pressed him very hard on his knees with the seat, and at that moment Mabena was putting a grey elastic over his face while Mabena was putting a grey plastic bag over his face while Buthelezi was blocking the accused from getting out of the motor vehicle, he said on Monday. I was never at a garage where the accused or Sergeant Mokhane were, Jonathan replied. The witness also dismissed Mngomezulu's allegation that Ntanzi was also assaulted in the presence of the lead investigator in Meyiwa's killing, Brigadier Bongani Gininda, at a dumping site. Mngomezulu said there was a person who poured accused number 2 with water from the front part of his body, which then Jonathan replied with, I have no knowledge of that. Mngomezulu went on to say that is when Gininda told accused number 2 he must tell the truth about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. But the witness insisted that he met Ntanzi for the first time at the Morocco police station. Ngumezulu further put it to Jonathan that at one stage the officers took turns in using a device they had to electrocute Ntanzi. You, Mr. Mabena and Buthelezi were taking turns on the use of his evidence, the defense lawyer said. On the use of this device, the defense lawyer said, which the witness denied. Furthermore, the advocate said Ntanzi started bleeding from nose, and that's when Mohane shouted, Yegelani, die man, translated, leave this man. Yegelani, die man. I thought it was saying that. That's been accused, that's then the accused number who, that's then accused who was untied. He was Thus, then, when accused number two was untied, he was wet and bleeding, and he was put back into the Toyota Fortuner. As you were executing the Toyota Fortuner, entered Chris Hani Brankwat Hospital, Ngumezulu said. However, Jonathan once again told the court he had no knowledge. So as you are hearing it right now, we have people that have been electrocuted, have been suffocated with a plastic bag, according to the defense. And it is an ongoing case right now, which you can follow on SABC news. It's available on SABC, on the SABC channel on YouTube. That is what has been happening. We also have Thakgi that also came out to point out that we have Rickelle Jones who actually flipped at him whilst he was attending a show of A-Reece and cheering up for A-Reece, which then people have called out to be an unprofessional act for someone who is considered to be A-Reece management. And it was a funny video to actually witness and to see, but it happened. She was really pissed, and if you're wondering why she was pissed at a TikToker by the name of Thakgi, it's because Thakgi had come out to say that Rickelle Jones is basically someone that is holding back A-Reece from making any progress in the music industry, and that she should let him be. So that is where the whole dispute started, and it's going back and forth right now. Some say it is justifiable for her to be flipping at him because he started it, and he's saying if you're working with someone that is extra and really important to the nation, of which is also famous more than Thakgi. Thakgi actually is the one that says that. He says, you know what, between me and A-Reece, A-Reece is the one that's famous. And so it makes you guys bigger than me. So you are supposed to behave like two bigger people. Because I'm not the famous one. He is the famous one, A-Reece. And, which kind of makes sense, kind of makes sense. But, I think we also have this whole thing whereby we're saying, as long as you're famous, you should be able to take everything that is coming your way, which is a screwed way of looking at it. We should not be doing bad things to people and saying, well, you're famous, deal with it. Like that's an unfair way of taking, I don't know, of justifying wrong acts and stuff like that. But we also had Hlubi joining Seemah on the podcast and chill with MacG, of which it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because they felt like they didn't hear much about Hlubi and couldn't get any motivation from how he became one of the greatest. And rather, what they got was Seemah's interrogations and trying to rekindle or get answers and responses for what really happened was they were together, and so they felt like they were robbed, which I feel like it makes kind of sense because if an interviewer is coming, right, if you want to address stuff, you better address it behind those. But let the fans and the lovers of the podcast get what they really want from the podcast and stuff like that. But Seemah is the host, so she is directing the ship. So whichever she wants to sway the podcast in, that is the spreading humors segment of the podcast and chill network, then it shall be swayed. in that way, I guess we have to accept that that is the new direction. But a lot of people are saying that this the show is now starting to become about her. Others are actually complaining about the fact that we have Yanda Woods now being more snacks towards Hlubi, not being nice towards Hlubi, and they're like, is what's going on? That is the guest. If you are bringing in a guest, better respect that guest, and better not start talking and making other conversations, because a lot of people believe that these people started making conversations that were really not really about Koslubi, but their own conversations in front of him and not engaging him as a guest, and they felt like that was disrespectful towards Koslubi. And I feel for the first time that is something that has been beautiful for people to say concerning Koslubi, because a lot of people really hate Goslubi. They really do attack him for the looks and everything. But I love, the responses that he gives. I love the maturity that he has when it comes to content creation, because for all of the questions that they asked him, he said, you know what, I make money from making videos, and if I stop doing that, then it's gonna be a problem, because that's how I feed myself. I also say that he understands that the more he grows, the more he's gonna get a lot of backlash, the more he's gonna get a lot of haters and stuff like that. So it motivates him. It only shows him that what, you have grown to become a bigger person, and he loves that. And I feel like that's just growth. That's beautiful growth, and I'm glad that that's how he feels, and that's how he's taking it. And I have no other holdbacks than to be happy to see Ghost growing and becoming a greater person. But I also felt like the more I'm watching the show, the more I'm getting detached from Yanda Woods. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the Zillewizzy situation or anything like that. But I feel like I'm getting over Yanda Woods right now. But yeah, that is that is what happened on the latest news from spreading humors. People were not really pleased at all. People were really not pleased at all. And also, it's been ongoing that we still have the issues of the Real Housewives. I don't know whether this thing is gonna be solved. The issue of Sonia Mbele, it's also said that Sonia Mbele is still sick. I don't know whether she's gonna recover, because at first we thought that it was something that was just like passing. They said it was work fatigue. And that she's gonna get better. But it's saying it's being said that she's really still sick. So that's that's now really worrying me. It really worries me. It really worries me. And we'll just go straight to the South African. I will basically read the latest article from the South African, written by Nokuthula Ngobo, and basically the story of Sonia Mbele. I really hope that she gets better. You know, it has gone chronic. Sonia Mbele opens up about her illness. So yeah, that is the South African. Businesswoman, former generations actress Sonia Mbele has shared that she suffers from an autoimmune disease. In May this year, Real Housewives of South Africa director Sonia Mbele was reportedly hospitalized for 2 weeks after she collapsed due to exhaustion. Speaking to Zimoja at the weekend, the former Generations actress said that she was suffering from an autoimmune disease. Sonia Mbele opens up about having anemia. Um, Mbele revealed that she was diagnosed with the disease a few months ago, a few days before launching season 3 of Real Housewives of Johannesburg. At the time, I thought I was getting fatigued until my doctors performed additional tests, which confirmed that I have anemia and that has gone chronic. She said, anemia occurs when there aren't enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen to your body's organs. This results in symptoms of tiredness or weaknesses. The actress also shared that she is currently taking treatment for iron deficiency and has adjusted her diet. I had to change my diet and eating habits, quit alcohol, and now I have to go for drips to make sure I have enough iron, she added. During the first weeks, the mother of three has made headlines for dodging the taxman. Last week, after missing court twice due to illness, she finally made an appearance, which is I guess good because you don't want to break the law and be sick at the same time. One issue at a time. SARS issue resolved. That is the issue between Sonia Mbele and SARS and the Real Housewives. According to IOL, the former Generations actress appeared at the Johannesburg Magistrate Court on Friday, 20 October, where the prosecutor Kamohelo Selepe said all charges against the three were withdrawn. The withdrawal of the charges were as a result of Sonia Mbele signing an admission of guilt and paying the applicable fee of 41,000 rand. Read the admissions of guilt statement. I, the Real Housewives of South Africa, PTI with registration number 2017 41 390807, hereby admit guilty to the charges specified in counts 1 to 41 as mentioned in the attached charge sheet, and tender the admissions of guilt fine referred to in the charge sheet. Bele and two of her fellow directors of Real Housewives of South Africa Pty Limited, Yolisa Kunta and Ribone Singh, were facing 42 counts of not filing company income tax from 2019 to 2022, not filing their value-added tax returns from 2020 to 2022, and also not filing their pay-as-you-earn payee from 2020 until 2022, which I feel like it was a great advice from the lawyer to just plead guilty and pay the fee as soon as possible, because the more you drag it, the more the law right now nowadays will try to make the most out of you. So that is the case. I just wish she gets better, man. I really love Sonia Mbele. For me, she's a sweetheart. I really love her sense of humor, and for me, this really cuts deep. It really cuts to my heart because for me, she's a sweetheart. I love her. I really hope that she gets better, and I'm really sad. I'm really sad about this one. This one cuts deep. I think I also saw earlier a post that Anglo Waffle was is it running for the Grammys or declaring for the Grammys. It's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. And I'm really glad. I'm really excited. For to see Anglo Waffles being under consideration for a Grammy, you know, and that's beautiful. It's really beautiful because this goes against what everyone has said. They have been saying that Anglo waffles is just 2 minutes noodles, she's gonna be gone or anything like that. But to see her around for the longest time, that's beautiful. And to see her soaring higher and higher and higher and higher. So the East Coast Radio posted on the 20th of October 2023 that Anglo Waffles celebrates receiving two Grammy considerations. The female DJ has been considered for Best Global Music Album and Best African Music Performance. That is Anglo Waffles. Congratulations are in order for Africa's very own Anglo Waffles. The DJ is celebrating another milestone in her music career. She took to Instagram to announce that she has been considered for the 66th Grammy Awards. Her album Asylum is considered for the Best Global Music Album, and Yaya Bia is considered for Best African Music Performance. I've always struggled with the Yaya Bia, but for the first time, I pronounced it the right way. Waffle started her Instagram post by appreciating the successful year she has had as an international DJ. It's been an amazing year. I've played 100 plus international shows this year alone, and I'm so grateful for everything, and that continues to happen in my life. She wrote. The 23-year-old, whose real name is Lungelihle Zwane, broke onto the music scene in 2021 after a video of her performing at a club went viral on social media. Since then, she has been going or gone on to record music and has caught the attention of the likes of Drake and Sierra. Today marks the 2-year anniversary since my life changed, and I'm in awe at what has happened since, she wrote on Instagram. She went on to announce her nomination considerations. I'm in awe at what has happened since, and this is part of my journey. And this part of my journey is even more exciting as I'm proud to announce that I'm in the running of for 2 Grammys nomination. I need my babies to share this post for me. If you're a member of the Ed Recording Academy, I'd appreciate your support. Thank you to everyone who made this song become what it is. At Justin99, at PC, at Ik, the drama, at Tony Duado, at Sihlenkosi, at Official Aya, and everyone who supported it from the DSPs, magazines, and creators who still continue to push it. She wrote, Sierra praises Anglo Waffles. She's everything. The 66th Grammy Awards will be held on the 4th of February 2024. It will take place at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. Please go ahead and make sure that you do your best to make sure that Anglo Waffles is the winner of a Grammy. It's going to be a long shot, and I'm going to need you guys to make sure that it happens and it becomes a reality. So definitely congratulations to Anglo Waffles. Black Diamond has started posting music. The latest music that has come out is Esqueleto with DJ Moporis, which I thought was beautiful, amazing, clean, amazing, well crafted. And it's beautiful. Go ahead and listen to it. Esqueleto with Black Diamond and DJ Moporis. I loved it. It was a masterpiece, and I can't ask for more from them. They will be dropping a lot of beautiful and new music, and I hope that you will enjoy it as more comes and keeps coming. Thank you so much for listening up until this far. I really did appreciate and enjoy being in your presence. I hope that we will continue being together, and I will see you next time. Same place, same time, same location. Take good care of yourself as you start this week. Please be gentle to yourself. Please love yourself, because there's no one else that's gonna love you more than you can love yourself. So stay true to yourself. Take it easy with your body, because this is the only vessel that you have. Once it's gone, you are also gone. So please make sure that you take good care of yourself. Be safe. Be on the lookout. Blessings are coming your way. It's been raining, and that means that it's gonna be a lot of luck, and luck shall keep on pouring. All closed doors shall open. All success is yours. Until then, I'll see you next one. Take good care of yourself. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and please invite more people to join the family. Become a member of this podcast. Thank you.